Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminisces. I've had a request, one of the few I ever get, from Leon, who's asked for Total Self-Hatred. And who am I to say no? It is a band I'm not too familiar with. I'm sure I've clicked on the odd track on Bandcamp to see what they sound like, but it's never resulted in me listening to a full album, I don't think. My recollection of these things is hazy, so I may well have never heard them at all, but it does seem very familiar. But hey ho. Anyway, Enlightenment was the track that was requested, so that is what we're going to do, strangely. So let's have a little listen, shall we? So, I've said it before when I've listened to DSBM bands. I mean, I have prior reviews of DSBM bands, but I've cherry-picked those to ones that I actually like, and they are few and far between, to be honest. I was going to say that DSBM is one of those things that I struggle with finding decent bands with, but to be honest, that's the case with every genre, even black metal. There's so much black metal that I have a quick listen to when I'm looking for new stuff that 95% of it goes in the bin. I don't, it doesn't, my ears don't find it attractive enough, and it's not necessarily because it's bad, it's because it hasn't got that certain something, because there's so much out there. You need that certain something to get you to listen or and to buy. So initial impressions of this, and to be honest, this isn't a first time reaction. I do very few of those, so I've heard this a couple of times, and one of the things I do like about it is there's a richness there, but there's also a roughness. When the initial piano got trounced by the rest of the instrumentation coming in, there was a crackle and an almost fractured nature to the incoming sound, and so the fact it ain't smoothed, it's not smooth, and it has a jagged edge, finds me appreciating it straight away, and sometimes with DSBM it takes me quite a few listens to get it, but here it was almost instant, which is a good thing. I've said this probably every time I've mentioned DSBM, that I struggle with the concept, but the concept doesn't work with me. I get what the subject matter is, and I get what the sound is trying to convey. But the trouble is, it makes me happy. I think probably for me a better term would be emotive black metal, because it enhances the mood you're in. Now, if you're feeling a bit mournful, and I'm sure this music does enhance that, but for me, because I'm a chipper sort of chap, it lifts me and makes me feel happier. Now, I'm sure the artist doesn't care that it makes me happier, as long as I appreciate what they're doing, and I certainly do. DSBM, funnily enough, is my humming music. So if I'm driving or cycling, or on the rare occasion I'll get my motorbikes out and ride them nowadays, I often find myself humming a drony tone, and very often nowadays it is a DSBM band song that I hum. And I think the bit that's coming up now, if I remember right, will be such a hum on future rides, walks, drives, whatever it may be. So it is sections like this that the intent works better with me, because I can see myself listening to this more acoustic section, or this slower section, not slower section, this section, lost words for a minute, where I could be stood on a desolate moor with the wind howling in my ears and being drenched by drizzle. It's these elements that do sort of push me into perhaps the intent of the artist, but not for too long, I have to say. And I have to say as well, while I think about it, because I do forget what I'm trying to say most of the time nowadays, these songs shouldn't work for me. I'm not a big fan of slow songs anyway, or slower music. But the way DSBM is done in this fashion does keep me with it, and I don't mind the fact we are sort of ambling along rather than tearing away. I will say that I've had a quick listen to the rest of the album, and there are some far faster songs on the album, which probably will mean that I actually end up buying the blooming thing after I've listened a couple more times, because I was taken by the faster tracks, and I have to say that I'm quite enjoying this as well. So my train of thought is drifting now, so let's listen to the end. I might interrupt if there's something picks itself out that I feel I need to comment on, but otherwise I'll let it drift to the end. I'm stopping it again. I thought I might just comment before it slips my mind about the vocals. Now, some aspects of black metal, the vocals really do sort of turn me off, and particularly with DSBM when it gets too wretched in the vocalization and becomes virtually a parody. And obviously it's personal preference, but it's nice to see here, wretched as the vocals are here, they are not on the level of screechiness or shriekiness that just turns me off completely. I can forgive certain vocals if the music is good enough, but sometimes they just become too much, that I can't take them seriously. So it's nice to have that the vocals here being wretched without being pathetic. Is probably what I'm trying to say. And now then, the paces are picking up, which is another device of this part of the genre. And very often, pleasingly, you get a little bit of a climax builder. So hopefully, I can't remember if this does sort of pick up a little bit at the end, but it's starting to. So let's see if it does. So there you go. Pleasingly, just near the very end there, the bass stepped to the fore, and what a gloriously rich bass it was. It was almost maple syrup rich, or I suppose if you want to use a genre cliche, deep blood red in its richness. So there you go. As I say, I'd heard the song before this, so there's nothing going to surprise me with it. But that doesn't mean to say that I can't revel in the fact this is another artist which well, in this case has been introduced to me, that I'm thoroughly enjoying. So much as most DSBM passes me by, this is an artist which I will pay a bit more attention to in the same way as I do with if I could remember the blooming names, austere, and the like, and none. So thanks very much for the suggestion. As I say, I've already listened to other tracks on the album, which I presume this must be the debut album, but plenty for me to have a little listen to later on. Yeah. Anyway, clicky bollocks. Catch you all next time. Cheerio.